We are related, we are connected for the proclamation of the gospel of Jesus Christ. Together we'll do exploits. We are
Hello, viewers of Gospel
related.
Link TV. You're on to your favorite show, Christ in the Center. And I'm your host. My name is Toby. And today's topic is going to be music and you. We're going to be talking about music, how music affects our daily activities, what we listen to. Does it affect us negatively, positively? How does it transform our lives? How does it bless us? How does it transform the lives of other people, and even in our community as well? So for me, music is something I just love the sound of music. I mean, music is something that's quite emotional to me. It transformed my own being. I mean, especially when I find a music that I connect to, it takes me to a deeper thoughts, the reflection. I mean, there are times that we find ourselves some kind of music, because I mean, we all know that music is it's there are different types of music, there's variety, and it's really depending on your culture. I'm from a tribe where the way we sing, what we say, the meaning of it carries a lot of weight in my own heart, especially when it's being ministered to me. And so we have different styles that I've said, like I said earlier. But I usually ask myself the big question every time I hear the sound of music: is it relevant? Is it appropriate? Are the lyrics appropriate to and inclined to the word and to my belief? Does it affect me positively or negatively? Is there anything that I can relate to when it comes to listening to this kind of music? We all know that nowadays there's some music that are out there now that's, oh, bless our soul. When we listen to them, sometimes we don't even know where we are. Are we being lifted up, or we're being dragged down back to the mud? And in seeking this knowledge, I mean, I kind of reflected back on it, and I thought to myself, I opened a few of the scriptures to see what exactly is there any music notes. We will find that Sons of Solomon had some lyrics. They had some songs that ministered to their hearts, and it's beautifully sung. There's some scriptures that have been brought out and are beautifully sung nowadays by some great artists. But there's no biblical principle, kind of set to the music note from God. But I actually do believe that music can be evaluated using God's principle. And the reason why I actually believe that is because, according to the Bible, that says that wisdom is profitable to direct, which in Ecclesiastes 10:10, the King James Version, it makes you understand that actually you can kind of sit down and really think that is this kind of music that you really want to listen to? Is it something that will bless your soul? Is it something that really makes any difference to your heart? Is it something that you want to hear over and over again? Or is it something that you want to hear in your closet, or something you want to hear in the public community? So music is quite important. Bear in mind that music differs from one culture to another. And so what I call music to myself might be completely different to another person. But we're going to apply some basic principles to guide us in using the Word of God to what kind of music would reflect we should have connection with, we should let, because one thing I believe music has its own spirit, and the Bible says that we should test all spirits. And that means we have to test the content, we have to test the lyrics. Literally, we have to check and examine that if it's in line with the Word of God, and if it's in line with the heavenly code and conduct. I mean, when you find yourself in a country or in a community, one of the first few things you want to learn is the code and conduct of that place. How does it affect you? What can you gain from it? What it is required of you on your own part to do to reflect this, to make you in tune with what you're doing. So basically, music is quite important, and music transforms so many lives. I mean, in the secular world out there, you will find what music is. The music industry is a fast growing industry. I mean, and there's some code and conduct. There's some ways that they believe that this is what the viewers want to see. I mean, immorality has become the key to that music. Immorality has become what people don't even listen to the lyrics. I mean, gone are the days when we used to have some musicians where They give you the lyrics, it will sink into you, it will meditate into your heart. You will know. And now I'm talking about the circular word now. I'm not even bringing it back to the biblical principle. We're talking about music that I know that back then that really made sense. It didn't have anything dirty. It didn't have anything inappropriate. I mean, it was just genuine spirit, and it was more of somebody that has love for music, somebody that just sat down, became creative about what they were going to sing, what they were going to compose, and what they want people to hear. I personally think that even at that point in time, those artists actually made the music themselves. That based on they made it a story inclined to their heart. They looked at their activity, how things are being reflected in their life, and they made it a part of their own life, so that they can easily associate with will be what people will associate with. And I believe most of us can testify to you that they kind of made sense at that point in time. I mean, the songs were appropriate enough for even when your kids want to listen to it nowadays. You wouldn't go haywire based on the fact that you don't want them to hear some certain words. But nowadays, music has turned to be something else, and we all know that the way music is now to the industries, they want to give it the way people want to hear it. It's not what is appropriate for them to hear. It's more of this is what they should hear. This is what they should see. I mean, the videos out there. I was going through the YouTube, and some videos were kind of inappropriate. That you would have to be age appropriate for you to even watch them. I mean, why can't we bring morality, decent things into our music world? Because music is quite emotional. I mean, songs, you have to look at some songs that does it glorify, does it have essence to the meaning of what you're actually singing? Is it something you yourself can relate with? I mean, music is very important. Music is emotional, like I said earlier. And because it's emotional, it takes a part of our being. It takes a part of our world. It takes a certain part of us. It carries it away, and it makes us to reflect. Sometimes it's the meaning it gives you. It's amazing, especially when you're relating with it. I mean, you're on to Christ in the Center show. And I'll be talking, the topic today is music and you. That's what we've been discussing. So far, we've talked about what music actually means to the circular world, what music means to the under the biblical principle. We're going more in depth now to talk about how does it glorify his name, even for you as a believer. I want you to bear in mind that not all songs that are even sung by Christians are filled, or they have Christian lyrics, are spirit filled. Sometimes you could have a lovely voice, you could minister, you could sing, and yet it's not a spirit filled. Because sometimes I know that sometimes I've sat under some artists and they're spirit filled, there's songs that are Christian, good lyrics, make sense, but yet it doesn't carry the weights, and it's empty, it's flat. I'll put it like that, it's flat. So we must understand music, which is very crucial. We must understand that this is where people have different styles of music. We have people that love country music. We have people that love contemporary music. We have jazz. We have Fuji. We have classic music. We have various kinds of music. And understanding the kind of music and what it means and what it means to you, how you take it, the kind of music that you love to hear, how you can transform it to a being, to something that becomes a part of you, something that you carry on. We have, like I mentioned earlier, I said we have different styles of music. I mean, the list is endless. I believe they're coming up with so many. There's Afro Juju, there's Afro Link, there's Afro that. There's so many. The list is kind of endless. And then you find that it's easier. People find it easier to worship God in various ways, and can understand the love of God based on their style of music. They can understand that this is, I mean, when you sing, when you have a particular song that makes sense to you, like from where I'm from, my own tribe, if I hear some songs that It ministers to my own soul, my spirit. It kind of gives me a sense of a sense of belonging, a sense of knowing how I want to worship, how I want to sing, what I really want to say. There's a flow in it. But to some people, it just there might not be any flow. So music is who you are. Music is what you want it to be. Music to me is how you think it should be carried out. I mean, it's not basically because a wonderful artist came up with a song. It's basically how music and what music means to you. Now I'm going to, like I said earlier, we've been talking more on music and you, your lifestyle and music, and what you should understand about music, how you should reflect music. But we'll be right after the break. Don't touch that dial. You're on. Don't touch that dial. You're on to your favorite show, and it's called Christ in the Center on Gospel Link TV. We're back after the break. You're on to your favorite show, Christ in the Center, and I'm your host. My name is Toby, and we're on Gospel Link TV. We've been talking so far on music and you. We've talked about how kind of music we listen to, how it reflects our lives, what are the things that it entails, how we have to be careful, especially in the secular world, what we watch, what we say, and what is expected, and how it reflects into our lives. So we're going to go on to the show. We're going to talk about how music is for more than praising God. You know, in our community now, in churches we have the praise and worship. We have the session where there's a special number, their praises, they're singing even during testimony and everything. So kind of people find it easier to sing, because sometimes you don't even have the exact word for it, but you kind of have it in your heart and you want to sing it out and you want to kind of praise God with it. And music, it's almost, I believe that even so in the secular world, you have people singing about how their heart has been broken. You have people singing about how things have really affected their lives. Or you have people talk about maybe drugs, money, alcohol. They sing about it in the way that it has really reflected. So that's to show you that music is a part of your life. Music is something that becomes, in the book of Colossians 3:16, in the letter to the Colossians, Apostle Paul reminded even the congregation that to let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs. Spiritual songs are the things that we're going to touch about later on in our discussion, because basically, when we say that music, we've compared the secular world music and now the spiritual songs. If we have to compare and weigh, nowadays people tend to kind of lean towards listening to songs that are kind of have the good morals. I mean, when I was growing up, I used to remember a particular song, the ABC 1 2 3. I mean, what happened to all those songs? I mean, there were things that you would pick from your own life experience, and then it relates to the other person. It becomes that person's life experience too, because when I sing it from my heart, it becomes something that the other person can relate to from their own hearts too. But in the secular world now, it's completely different. Most like I mentioned earlier, I said the producers, the industry wants a particular niche to the kind of song you will sing, because it's more of all the inappropriate words, and our youth and young adults are kind of happy about it, dancing all around it. It becomes a spirit that goes inside of them. Sometimes we wonder, they're singing, there's a rebellious spirit behind it, and there's an attitude that comes with music. I mean, even if you're dancing, if you look at it, there are times that there's a particular song, and when it touches your spirit mind, there's a kind of way you dance to it, which is completely different from the way another person would dance to it, because it actually ministers to you. It becomes an emotional thing. It becomes a kind of music that you want to move to. And the creation of music, where we must understand, by God, is to be a powerful and a positive tool. But The Bible says that even Lucifer was it was a it was a musical angel. He was actually in charge of the music. I mean, that's to show how the position he held even in that when he was in heaven. It shows to us that music is a reflection of everything. Music it's important. It builds our daily life. You see, play music yourself. In First Samuel, it said God described King David his teenage days as a shepherd and his brave action in protecting his flock from lions and other dangerous animals. The Bible also describes him as a mighty man of war. But have you considered that even this mighty man was a skillful player of harp? I mean, he knew that even as much as he's a mighty man of war, as much as he carries all the other anointing, it's very crucial for him to understand how to praise his God. He kind of knew that there's a way that music kind of touches the heart of God and how it needs to reflect it. I'm going to talk about how we can relate music into our daily activities. I'm one person that I really love music. I mean, in my car, there's music on. I get home, there's music on the TV. Sometimes that's all I listen to. So basically, we can incorporate music even into our daily activities for it to minister to us, for us to use it as our daily needs. Because sometimes we're going through a lot. Sometimes we don't even know how to express it, but there's a way that music kind of plays into your heart and it helps you to examine your life, to know what you can do. And I'm going to there's much we can learn from these examples. I mean, there's several examples that we can go on and talk about how music reflects into our lives. And from listening to music and learning to play music can be rewarding as well. The mental discipline required to play an instrument with skill can stimulate the mind in wondrous ways. I mean, music is not just the lyrics written, it could be the instrument you play, it could mean, and they're beautiful, 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 beautiful music out there. I must give it to the South Africans. They always win my heart. There's a way they sing through everything. There's a way the music reflects the community, the society. There's a way music unites that country, and it's amazing. That's the power of music even in our lives. That's the power of music even in the secular world. Certain types of music, as a psalm, were composed, in details, and the attention of the organized, the way it was organized, that was hymn, the way they're detailed and they kind of make sense. They were actually composed as poetry set to music. And this is I find quite interesting. I mean, you're on to your favorite show, Christ in the Center. My name is Toby, and so far we've been talking about music and you. And we've talked about how you need to understand music, what music means, how you could test all lyrics, test all spirits around the music, check if it's appropriate, if it makes sense, especially if you have a teenager, you have younger ones around you. You don't want them asking you questions about what does this mean, what does that mean, what is he saying, what is this artist saying, and how you can actually, the music is not just only when you sing. It's you could have it in an instrumental form. You could even have it in your body language too, because sometimes how you reflect and how you move, it becomes musical in your own mind. You said examine music in your own life, the kind of emotional response you receive from the music you listen to. Is it a positive one? Further, be proactive. Learn to play an instrument. There's no age for certain. Learn to play an instrument. Engage yourself in activities. There are some activities out there in the community. There's a musical festival that come up in summer. Engage yourself in things that are kind of rewarding and that can help you to enlighten, because there's a way, even when you're going through an emotional trauma, there's a way music can help you through the trauma, that you don't react in a negative manner. So if you already know how to play an instrument, dedicate yourself, learn to play more, learn from the good examples of music in the Bible, and try and make music a bigger part of your life. I want to encourage you to try and make music a bigger part of your life. Get to know what's happening out there. Go on Google. Think of kind of music that you want to download. I once saw a lady, she kind of sent a message on Facebook saying that she's trying to gather, clean music that people can actually listen to, and the kind of oldies, because you don't want to take close down the memory lanes as well. So she's trying to gather a lot of the music that are kind of appropriate for our community in the years of our younger ones. And things like that are you kind of find those information very useful that you could keep for yourself, because music is who you are. Music becomes a part of you. It's what you are, your daily activity, your mindset. It becomes a spiritual being. It becomes a spiritual being. I earlier said something about spiritual songs. They're the things that help you to reflect. So I just want you to know that so far we talked about music, what we can do on music, and then let us learn from the good example in the Bible, and let's make music a bigger part of our life. Thank you, viewers of Gospel Lane TV. You have been on to Christ in the Center, and I've been your host. My name is Toby. Join me again next week for another wonderful, exciting topic. Remember, you're ambassadors in this earth. My name is Toby, and stay tuned.
For the proclamation of the gospel of Jesus Christ, together we'll do exploits. We are related, we are connected. For the proclamation of the gospel of Jesus Christ, together we'll do exploits.